This is the heartwarming story of friendship, loyalty, and the magic of kindness. The Old Woman and the Loyal Fox. In a peaceful village surrounded by green hills and deep forests, an old woman lived happily in her little cottage, caring for her flowers and feeding the birds every day. Everyone in the village knew her for her kindness. Though she lived alone, her gentle heart always found joy in helping others. As winter arrived, cold winds swept through the forest. One snowy afternoon, the old woman went into the woods to gather firewood. While walking through the forest, she discovered a fox trapped beneath a heavy fallen tree branch. The poor animal was frightened and injured. Even though she was weak and tired, the old woman used all her strength to lift the branch and finally free the fox. The fox looked at her quietly for a moment before disappearing into the snowy forest, while the old woman slowly returned home. A few days later, the old woman opened her door and found fresh berries waiting on her doorstep. Another day, she discovered fresh wild mushrooms carefully placed outside her door. Soon after, the fox brought fish from the nearby stream to help her through the cold winter. On other evenings, useful herbs and forest plants appeared at her doorstep like tiny gifts of gratitude. Day after day, the mysterious offerings continued, filling the old woman's home with warmth and food during the harsh winter months. Curious to learn who was helping her, the old woman stayed awake one moonlit night and quietly watched from her window. Under the silver glow of the moon, she saw the fox gently placing food by her door. The fox had not forgotten her kindness. From that day on, the old woman and the fox became close companions, spending peaceful evenings together beside the cottage. Winter slowly faded away, and spring covered the fields with colorful flowers and fresh green leaves. One day, the old woman followed the fox deep into the forest and discovered 3 playful little fox cubs hidden in a quiet clearing. At first, the cubs were shy, but they soon grew comfortable around the old woman and accepted her as a friend. As the seasons changed, the cubs grew stronger, and the old woman often visited the forest to watch the happy fox family play. One autumn afternoon, hunters entered the forest, frightening the young foxes and scattering them through the trees. One frightened cub ran all the way to the village and hid safely beneath the old woman's porch while the hunters searched nearby. Later that evening, the mother fox found her lost cub, and the family reunited safely beside the old woman's cottage. Years passed peacefully. The old woman grew older and the fox's fur slowly turned gray, but their friendship never faded. Together, they spent countless evenings watching golden sunsets and enjoying the quiet beauty of nature. The villagers often wondered why the old woman always seemed so happy, even though she lived alone. They never realized that her greatest treasure was the loyal friendship of a wild fox whose life she had once saved. Their story became a legend, reminding everyone that kindness always finds its way back home.